We're at the Melbourne EV show, and with thanks to Jeff for holding this camera for a second, I'm going to do a crazy run around with you and show you what's here and more. So hang around, let's do this. At the show, there's quite a few EV accessory and pimp your ride type of vehicles, and this is Flow Design, and they're actually selling number plate holders and bespoke sort of solutions for your car to make them, I guess, pretty on the outside. If you want to come down and test out the electric bikes and scooters, you can do that, which is good. Look at that guy go. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying it. These were interesting. Upco electric motorbikes, kind of cafe racer meets utility, all-purpose thing. It's all-wheel drive, 2 hub motors, can take a payload of up to 150 kilograms, 120 kilometers of range, and charge time of 6 hours. Surprisingly, I really like the look of this. Yeah, so go check them out. These electric motorbikes were damn impressive. The brand's called Talaria, and they do both off-road and road legal electric motorbikes, and the specs of the Stinger in particular, or the Sting, are crazy. For instance, the powertrain, it can produce up to 34 Newton meters of torque and have a peak torque value on the rear wheel of 284 Newton meters. That is crazy. Like, you would actually need software to stop the bike from flipping up and back. Absolutely amazing. The bikes come in different sizes of battery packs, such as a 60 volt 38 amp hour lithium ion power pack, which is swappable. That can be increased to a 60 volt 45 amp hour. So shenanigans, crazy fast fun. Yeah, these bikes definitely check out and will be absolutely crazy to take off road. These guys are located in Sydney, and it was great to see them down here in Melbourne. Littered around the Melbourne EV Expo were some electric cars of various sorts that I don't recognise, plus the Australian Electric Vehicle Association, which had this beautifully converted MG. Okay, these are insane. Electric scooters capable of up to 120 kilometers per hour. You heard right, 120 kilometers per hour. This is from a Victorian business called eAussie Electric Light Vehicles, or something like that. Links below. And yeah, I gotta say, I was really interested with this, but conversely, equally frightened by it. Turns out the wheels on this are the same size as the original Mini Cooper tyres. Yeah? Just to give you a perspective as to what you're looking at here, how large the deck is, it's a very serious, crazy fast electric scooter, which I would dare not even go that speed on. Anyway, the guys at eAussie not only do electric scooters, but they also do electric bikes and motorcycles. Electric, of course. Kia had a stand here, so it was great to see the EV6 GT, and over in the right corner behind me right now is the EV9, so we'll come back to that. Also, the Fonz was here. These guys I've actually detailed in my Fully Charged live video, so check this link up here if you want to see them. But otherwise, yeah, let's go back to the Kia EV9 because, mate, this thing's huge. And here it is, Australia's next major EV player. This thing reminds me of a Range Rover. What do you reckon? It's Kia EV9, and it will have up to 541 kilometers of range on the WLTP cycle. And in some markets, it will actually have level 3 autonomy. That means you don't even have to keep touching the wheels or looking ahead. The car will drive you and will instruct you that, hey, now it's time for you to take over because I've had enough. Some of the features include, in the standard range, a 160 kilowatt, 350 Newton meter single motor that does 0 to 100 in 8.2 seconds, which I've got to say is pretty impressive given the size of this vehicle. Then there's a long range variant with 150 kilowatts, 350 Newton meters on a single rear motor, and can do so in 9.4, but obviously it's going to give you more range because you're not going to be driving it like crazy. You could even opt for the dual motor 283 600 Newton meter all-wheel drive one, and that will do 0 to 100 in 6 seconds flat. All the models except for the entry-level standard will have a 99.8 kilowatt hour battery. So I guess that's how they're getting around that sort of range, because this is a massive vehicle that can carry up to 7 people. And check out these rear seats. When I pressed this button, I thought it was going to actually just lower the seats down just quickly, you know, like as a spring-loaded thing like you see in a Tesla or most other cars. But no, it's very fancy, motorized, and yeah, it's classy. Is there enough space here for people? Yeah, debatable. I would have to get in the back and find out. I didn't have an opportunity to do it this time round, but nonetheless, look, the Kia EV9 is going to be built on that G-UMP platform, features a 800 volt ultra fast charging capability, and yeah, you can get 239 kilometers of range in 15 minutes. So great little people mover, large electric vehicle that's sadly missing in Australia right now with the absence of the Tesla Model X. So yeah, bring it on. At the show, there was a good smattering of energy and charging companies like Get, ChargeFox, BP Pulse, AGL, RSEV, NRMA, TSA, Crystal Solar Energy, and a few others. Sorry if I missed you, but yeah, I think it was actually a very good display by some, including one which I think I got footage of later on, of a DC rapid charger designed for home use. DC 20 kilowatts, I think it was, $10,000. So actually pretty expensive. Audi also had a really good stand at the Melbourne EV Expo with the Q8 55 e-tron, but what really caught my eye was this, the RS e-tron GT. ABB had the electric track car that I saw at Fully Charged Live, and in case you didn't know, by the way, these guys actually provide technology solutions like energy products that are inside your charger. I kid you not. These guys are sold millions, and they work behind the scenes with different makers providing solutions for them. So good to know. There's also some smattering of, I think these were electric, I'm not entirely sure. There might have been a petrol engine in it, I couldn't tell. So I had a quick squiz at the back here, and yeah, very, very awesome, sexy looking cars. Crazy low, but has it got a petrol engine in there? I think it does. So we'll move on. Zagami Automotive had a few different cars there, like the Cupra Born, which is interesting because that's actually by SEAT, which is a subsidiary of VW. So, okay, so be it. Then this little interesting green monster called the Abarth. I'd have to look up some details on it, but it was very cute and reminded me of a Mini Cooper, especially with their switchgear inside. Then, check it out. It's the Fiat 500e, the electric offering, and lovely interior. Again, switchgear reminiscent of a Cooper. Seats 4 people supposedly, but good luck to the passengers in the rear. You know what we need in Australia? We need more engineers and auto electrician sort of people, right? And so it's great to see this stand by RMIT and the Society of Australian Automotive Engineers. And they had this little racing simulator going here, which I would have loved to jump in, but I didn't have the time, and yeah, maybe next time. Jaunt, a electric car conversion company, had a few display vehicles here, such as this beautifully transformed 1964 Land Rover 88 with a 110 kilowatt hour battery, 300 kilowatts and 450 newton meters of torque. Dare I ask the price? I don't think so. In the interest of time, I'm going to be skipping over quite a few businesses here and organisations like the Tesla Owners Club of Australia, because kind of like, well, you've been to one electric vehicle show, you've been to them all, right? So this is one of the main events, and that is Peugeot debuting the E2008. This will be coming out in Australia very soon and features a battery electric range of more than 300 kilometres, a charge time of 0 to 80% in 30 minutes, power of 115 kilowatts, Peugeot iCockpit with a 10-inch screen and toggle switches, wireless mirror screens, rear parking sensors, and a lot more. Polestar was also at the Melbourne EV Expo, and this time they're showing off the Polestar 3. And yeah, this is a luxury SUV built on a pure electric base, featuring a 111 kilowatt hour battery, 400 volt architecture, and a range of 610 kilometers on WLTP cycle. Maximum DC charge rate is 250 kilowatts. This car will also offer bi-directional charging with vehicle to grid and vehicle to load. So that's something very special that I'd like to see supported in Australia. It'll have active air suspension, dampeners, LiDAR, so I'm going to be thinking level 3 autonomy here. It gets my tick with that beautiful center screen, driver's binnacle, and features that Tesla just can't even match. So I can't wait to get in this car to test it out. And last but not least, it's the good cat, Aura by GWM. And this thing is pretty interesting looking, kind of reminds me of the Fiat 500e meets a little mini, I don't know what. It's priced between $39,000 and $50,000. The seats are leather-like, got a center display, wireless Apple CarPlay as well as wireless Android Auto. And sure, rear seat is tiny, boot's even tinier, but this is going to be a great little runaround car for those who live in urban areas. So that will do it for this quick walk around of the Melbourne EV Expo 2023. Gotta say, it's only going to take you about 90 minutes to see everything, but there's talks on there as well. And if you're actually in the market for a car, it's obviously going to take you longer because, yeah, you got to be talking to sales reps and people who know a few things about electric vehicles. I'll be there Sunday at 12:30 for a talk about the EV tax, and 1:30 on a panel talking about what to look for if you're new to the EV market. Otherwise, please do consider subscribing, absolutely helps the channel out. You want behind the scenes news and stuff you don't get here, Patreon's where do you go for that. If you can help out my coffee addiction, please check out the Ko-fi link below, and otherwise, see you soon.